back to Macabre London's Abhorrent Advent Calendar. As you'll be aware if you've already joined me for door number 1, I'm counting down the days until Christmas, but not in the usual joyful way you may expect. Instead, I'll be telling you 24 gruesome stories until we hit Christmas Day, when you'll receive a full-length episode of Macabre London as your hideous Christmas present from me to you. Yesterday, under trapdoor number 1, we heard about the traditions of leaving out snacks for Santa, and also a disturbing tale of a greedy boy from South Africa who was murdered by his grandma. I would love to tell you that the stories get brighter from here, but they don't. Join me today as we open door number 2 and head to the land of Christmas, Germany, to discover about Knecht Ruprecht, the anti-Santa. For most kids, a visit from Santa is a fun and exciting thing to look forward to. However, in German-speaking countries in Central and Western Europe, Santa has a few friends which he brings with him when he makes his visit. Some of which you really wouldn't want to meet in broad daylight, let alone have them appear at the foot of your bed in the middle of the night. The Santa we know today evolved from St. Nicholas, a benevolent and kind Christian saint who was around in the 4th century. Nicholas was known for his secret gift-giving and all-round good guy nature, but today I'm not here to tell you about the nice guy, as he'll be getting his own episode later on. Instead, I'm going to tell you about one of his scary pals. Santa's companions across the whole of this region go by many different names, but they all have a similar job to do: scare the bejesus out of children. In most English-speaking countries, there is the tradition of the mischievous but ultimately helpful Christmas elf, which helps Santa with his Christmas preparations. Originally, the elf was seen as a protector of the house, keeping out other scarier entities from gaining access into the home, but as Christmas has evolved alongside capitalism, the elf has now been changed into a factory worker, bolstering the gift production and making sure that Santa is able to give plenty more gifts to children. However, the other St. Nick's sidekicks are a little more terrifying. Knecht Ruprecht, which translated into English means Servant Robert, is a stark contrast to his saintly friend. Knecht Ruprecht concerns himself only with naughty children, so St. Nick doesn't have to even pay them any mind, as they will be taken care of by him. Thought to be raised by St. Nicholas himself, Ruprecht, whose name is also a colloquial name for the devil, is said to represent the average German town dweller of the medieval times. Unlike St. Nick, he is drab and boring with a brown hooded cloak, the tip of which is pointed, a tradition we still have in Christmas hat design today, and he carries a long stick which is also very handy for threatening children with. In order to sort the naughty wheat from the saintly chaff, Knecht Ruprecht asks children if they can deliver a prayer in order to atone for any sins they may have amassed throughout the year. If they can, they're given treats such as gingerbread and nuts. If they can't, then they will be hit with a bag full of ashes and receive stones or coal, and their parents are gifted a stick with which to beat their unruly offspring. If you're particularly bad, then Knecht Ruprecht may stuff you into a sack and take you away. When Knecht Ruprecht is on his way, he can be heard due to the bells that are sewn onto his cloak. This way children know to hide. In Germany, it's still tradition for St. Nicholas and Knecht Ruprecht to make house calls together. However, Ruprecht is not likely to steal children or hit them with a bag or a stick nowadays. Instead, he's more of a threatening presence. But back when giving children trauma was all a bit of festive fun, kids were occasionally stuffed into bags to be walked around the block a few times before being returned home, where they would never ever be naughty ever again, and definitely wouldn't require therapy in the future at all. Knecht Ruprecht also has ties to another of St. Nicholas's friends, Krampus. However, that's another door for a different day. Thank you for joining me for door number 2 of the Macabre London Abhorrent Advent Calendar. I'll be back tomorrow with door number 3. Please like, comment, rate, review and subscribe on whatever platform you're enjoying this on, and come and say hi on my social media. If you'd like to help support the show, then you can do so by signing up to our Patreon, buying a gift from the Amazon wishlist, or making a one-off donation via the Acast supporter link. Thanks for joining me. I've been Nikki Druce, and I'll see you for door number 3 tomorrow.